Hi. I'm Nick.
I'm Jill, and we're HipStrings.
You threw me off because you said hi at the same time.
I'm allowed to do that sometimes.
I know, but it just threw me off.
Okay.
Welcome to day 5 of the 2025 Spinalong. That's the year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I just got a new dose of immunotherapy, which means I had Benadryl injected into me, so I may be a little bit...
Woozy?
I was going to say off. So... apologize. I don't know. Maybe it'll make.
We'll see how it affects your spinning.
Yeah. Here's my die, and here we go.
So day 5 is another hand dyed. It is Clementine on Targhee bamboo silk. Some of you who may have got the kit for the socks that Laura designed may have seen this color before.
I have a problem, Jen.
What's your problem?
I seem to be missing a bag.
What bag?
Well, I can't say what bag.
You should have that.
I should.
I can't see all your bags.
Well, I can see all my bags. I don't see that bag. Should I just grab another one? Roll again?
Well, eventually we're gonna have it. Do you want to take mine? And then we'll replace mine?
Okay. We can do that. I'm just causing all sorts of
I
problems
can replace day 10. Sorry.
No, now I can't do that because it just...
Then re-roll.
I'm going to have to re-roll.
We can't ruin...
We can't spoil for people. All right, I already did that one. Oh my god, this die is weighted.
Do you have that one?
No, I already did that one.
Nick!
I'm not supposed to get this many repeats. Not this early. All right, that one I have.
Okay.
Oh. Stephanie says, hello. GM Knitter says, cute intro. Donna says, good evening, everyone. Glad to be here. Amy says, count how many bags you have left. If it's not 8, then there's a problem. And Granny Nurse says, good evening, everyone. How many bags left? What did I do? Did I already spin that one? Maybe I already spun that one.
I don't think so.
No, I did.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I did.
There's your problem.
The Benadryl is my problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to blame the Benadryl.
Well, I'm glad you're giving me a head start on this Targhee bamboo silk since it took me forever the other night.
And I'm going to... I don't know if you can hear Gab off in the distance there.
We have an audience tonight.
Gab is working on gifts. And so therefore is working as a background audience. They were saying, it's purple. I like purple. So.
Would you spin it, Gab?
Last time you spun was some Lord Berrywinkle, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they have like a quarter of an ounce left to go, but they filled the bobbin.
Maybe next year.
You have to clear it before Father can get into
T-Rex
T-Rex again.
Next year or this year.
Yeah.
There's not too much more time in this year. That reminds me of a joke that I heard. That you have to make sure that you go to the bathroom, late on New Year's Eve, because you don't want to keep the same crap into the next year.
Oh.
That's a terrible joke.
It is a terrible joke. That's an uncle joke.
Yeah. Cornwall Crafter says, hello, friends.
You're up late.
Or early.
Or early. Or they got up really early.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know Eve. She's staying up late.
I don't know the time zone differences here, so.
5 hours?
5 hours ahead?
Ahead.
That is very late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some times when I message friends in the UK and I'm like, I need to say something to this person at this time. I know they shouldn't get it because it's way off time. And then they respond. And I'm like, you should keep better hours.
Well, that's like when I sent an email to my boss that, like, I'm in the hospital, can't sleep at 4 a.m. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna respond to this email. And I get an email back. And it's like, did I wake you up? Like, what's going on? And Cornwall Crafter says, up late, it's 1 a.m. So, all right, so what are we going to start with talking about?
I don't know.
Do we want to start with our sweaters?
Our sweaters? I've worn this one. Yes.
Did you wear this earlier this?
I think I did. Because I have 2 mashup Carbettes, but I think this is the one I wore.
Did you accidentally re-wear the same one?
Yeah, I think I did. So you have seen this sweater before. Maybe I'll try to remember to wear the other one.
Well,
the other one has a yellow neck.
For people who
cannot remember what happened yesterday,
or didn't watch the previous episode or something.
So this is a Carbeth by Kate Davies. It's one of my favorite sweater patterns because one, I've made 4 of them. And 2, it's DK weight held double, so I can knit this in about 2 weeks. And it's really cozy, and it, I can wear it instead of a coat. So.
And what is the pattern that I'm wearing?
I think it's either Great Love or Big Love. There were 2 similar patterns that we knit for each other.
Yeah.
I think you have the Big Love.
Did I knit you Great Love?
You knit me Great Love.
Oh.
So Nick knit me Great Love. So it's same
I thought
designer.
It was the exact same
No,
pattern.
It's slightly different. It's very slightly different in the stitch pattern, I think, and the sizing.
I was always confused as to how mine was like super drapey or how the one you knit for me was super drapey and the one that I knit for you was like super structured.
Yeah, I knit. It's from Hand Spun Bats. Nick knit me one, a very similar one. That's a cropped cardigan in Targhee worsted, HipStrings Targhee worsted.
So, by the way, Crankercraft says, I have the most conversations with my UK friends at 4 to 5 a.m.
So they just all have bad sleep habits.
Yeah. Amy says, one of my coworkers is a crazy morning person. His alarm goes off at 3:30 a.m. every day by choice.
What? I'm sorry. I was so happy. Like, we did the whole, 23andMe and, the genetic, traits and stuff.
And genetically, you are
Genetically, I am meant to wake up at, 8:05 a.m., which, if I had my choice, that's when I would wake up.
Yeah. Colonel Crafter says, I love you guys going live in December. Keeps me company. We should really
We should do this more often. We say this every year.
No. What we say every year is that we're going to be posting other videos.
Well, maybe we can post for Tour de Fleece in 2026.
We can do some live for Tour de Fleece?
Yeah, since we don't have SSK
okay.
to prep for. And we will be missing everybody.
And Amy, who's got the eyes of a hawk, says, yes, that's the sweater you wore Friday. Conal Crafter says, also, Nick, it's great to see you. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Okay is a good word to describe it. Apparently, if I actually sleep properly, I'm now waking up at 5 a.m., which is disgusting. That's, again, Cornwall Crafter. I don't know. I'll usually wake up around 5 a.m. And then I'll go back to sleep.
You wake up...
And then I'll wake up at 8 a.m.
Yeah, you don't get out of bed till later.
I discovered my thyroid is completely messed up with this Pembra, so that's probably a good reason for part of that. And Crankercraft says, LOL, sorry, 4 to 5 a.m. Eastern, but I get up super early for work. Yeah. Well, so 4 to 5 a.m. Eastern would be like a reasonable time in the UK.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, Gav. You do. Do you want to show it off?
Sure.
I don't know if you can
stole it from you.
creep into here.
Because I wore Father's version of that once.
There we go. You can make it back.
So, Gab. Gab is wearing my sweater that we knit for going to Batu in
Galaxy's
2020.
Edge.
Galaxy's Edge.
The Star Wars Disneyland World
So
thing.
it is a Strange Brew sweater with custom
Custom color work.
color work with AT-ATs, which are my favorite, and tauntauns, and A-wings.
The A-wings are wrapping around the AT-ATs.
Yeah.
And there's A-wings down here
Yeah.
too.
So, and that was in Polworth, DK.
So I'll have to wear my Star Wars sweater one of these days.
So we've reached the point in the household where probably 4 out of 5 family members can all wear the same sweaters.
Yeah.
I
Chris
think
would
this
kind of
one
be drowning.
What? That one shrank a little bit.
This one
Yes.
Now, because I fit perfectly into any of your sweaters that shrank.
Yes.
So what is the felting ratio? And Gab, is that ratio to you?
Gab is just a felted version of me.
Colonel Crafter says, super ironic. Now I stopped working. When I had a job, I couldn't wake up before 11, so had to work at a pub, and then you start in the evening. There you go. Good way to solve that. Laura says, hi all. I know Jill's color. And Laura also says, hi Gab.
Hi.
Crankercraft says, Gab cameo. And Chronal Crafter says, love the hair. JM Knitter, ooh, love Gab's sweater. Thanks for modeling. Donna says, awesome sweater, Gab. And Diane says, love the sweater and Gab's hair color. There you go. See, if you would commit to spin, you don't need to commit for the entire time, but you can come and join us spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just hover.
Chris, would you like
Chris,
to come
would
and
you
make
like
a
to
cameo?
come say hi?
So Christopher is here in the background also working on a painting project, but he's extremely distracted. You want to come and stand next to me?
I do
Okay,
not know.
apparently he's being too shy.
He wants to. Does he want? Do you? I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either.
Anyway, why don't you go finish your painting, Chris? All right. Colonel Crafter says, wondering what the kids' friends think of the spinning. Gab, what do your friends think of the spinning? It was a big, yeah.
I don't think they know about the spinning.
What do they think about your crocheting in class?
Well, they knit a cowl today during school.
Oh yeah, I did knit an entire cowl.
You've generally had teachers who are okay with you knitting in class.
Yeah.
You have a sweater that you knit entirely in bio.
Yeah.
And this is what I really enjoy about our school district is that they understand that sometimes, especially for kids, neurodivergent kids, the classroom environment is not sufficiently stimulating for them to be able to pay attention. So having some sort of non-disruptive fidgeting is beneficial for their
And Gab has very
performance.
productive fidgeting.
Yeah.
And Laura's asking, are the kids out on Friday or do they go next week?
No, they go next week. They go all the way to the 23rd is their last day.
They go hard. And it's not even that long of a break either.
Yeah, because they get like the full week. They get 1 full week off. And so it's like a week and a half break.
I think we get 2.5 weeks.
No?
Oh, okay.
You get a week and a half.
Oh.
Crankergraph says, I wish I'd been a knitter when I was in school. Would have been very helpful. Possibly, but I know when I was growing up, there's
That would
no
not-
way in hell the teachers would have let me knit in class.
Yeah.
It would have been seen as disrespectful and, that I wasn't paying attention. I did have a class in college guess I was knitting at this time, but I didn't knit in class. But I would do a Sudoku in class.
Mm.
And I sat in the front row, and I did well, and I answered questions. But like, as my fidget, as my additional mental load for my ADHD, I would do a Sudoku in class every day. Cornwall Crafter says, my nephew just got his autism diagnosis. His school is awesome. A village school. It goes from 5 to 12 years old, and there are 22 kids in the entire school.
Wow.
They won't do his ADHD evaluation until he's 7. Yeah. Well, I waited until I was 43 to get my ADHD evaluation.
I think you were the last one to know.
I mean, there was always signs. Crakercraft says 38 and still waiting. I will say the biggest thing that was beneficial for me was the medication that I got. So I don't know how much I've talked about this before, but
I don't think so.
So I went on a non-stimulant medication called Strattera. The generic name is atomoxetine.
Mm-hmm.
And weirdly enough, none of the nurses ever know how to say it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And you were on a tiny, tiny dose.
Oh, that was the weirdest thing. So when we first decided to try it out, they gave me the, you're a big guy, we'll give you the regular adult dose and start off with it. And
not even the
smallest.
half
No,
the
the
regular.
smallest. It was the smallest adult dose.
Yeah, it was
30
the smallest.
milligrams.
Yeah, which.
And I was like, okay, great.
Because
And
most people take
it.
like 80.
I hated it. I felt like a robot. I felt like I was. In the in some TV shows where they have somebody who's like been drugged, where like they will think something that they're gonna say and it comes in as an echo, 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 louder, and then they actually say it. Like that's kind of how my brain was going. Like I would think about something and very easily be able to perceive that it was coming, but it took a while for it to actually come to fruition. And at first I was like, okay, this is terrible. I'm not going to do a medication at all. And then I told this to my PCP, and they're like, well, let's try you on a child's dose. And they went from 30 milligrams down to 10 milligrams. And oh my God, it was so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm still me, but I don't have as much of the ADHD issues.
Yeah.
Not as much trouble starting, not as much trouble stopping.
Less dysregulated.
Yeah. So, all right, let's see what people have said. The Knitted Bean said, my husband is a teacher for K through 12 art, and he's ADHD. He keeps a drawer full of fidgets in his class for kids who need them, which is awesome. Cornwall Crafter says, I got my first at 14 in 2000, but the paperwork was lost. So waiting for take 2 at age 40. Been on the waiting list for 4 years now. Cornwall Crafter asks, what does this medication do? I don't know exactly. You looked into this a little bit, right?
So it's a selective norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor. So it's an SNRI. So it basically helps your body. One, it helps dopamine stick around a little bit longer. ADHD brains require a lot more dopamine. They don't hold on to it like other brains. And then it also increases norepinephrine, which is something that regulates kind of like the fight or flight response. And so that kind of levels out mood and reactivity. Big on the reactivity.
Yeah.
So Nick is not as reactive.
I think that's probably the biggest thing. It smooths out my the biggest spikes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you talk about getting evaluated. I think the funniest experience that ADHD people tend to have when they're trying to get evaluated is the doctor will say, "Okay, here's a form. Fill it out and return it." And I feel like there should be a timer on when they give you the form, because it took me a year to fill mine out.
Yeah, and then they gave you follow-up forms.
And then they gave me follow-up forms, and I was like,
that
"There's
you
no way I
needed-
could fill this
that
out."
you needed to fill out before your actual assessment, and like you procrastinated until like
No, I didn't pay attention to that
you
direction.
didn't pay attention
I
to
was
the
supposed
directions and didn't realize you had like extra forms that you had to fill out and I had to fill out
and we
before
needed
your
to fill
evaluation.
them out and return them before the evaluation.
Yeah.
And I only filled them out and returned them like 24 hours beforehand. I turned it in on the day of the evaluation. I was like, "Sorry, I forgot. I didn't realize this." Blah blah. And just that act should have been okay. No, rubber stamp. You're ADHD. That should be part of the evaluation. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
I can remember you being like, they gave me like 10 forms to fill out. This is too much. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. I'm really happy that I had somebody to help cheer me along. Chrono Crafter says, "My main issue is getting started with the task." Just like I was talking about. It's like someone puts a command into the computer, but forgets to press enter for the computer to execute the command. And she also says, try government disability benefit forms. Yeah. No, it's like there's all these forms for justification where they gotta, it almost feels like they're saying, okay, we know you are a right arm amputee, but we really need you to fill out this form with your right hand.
Yes.
Right? Oh my gosh, she says they're 50 pages.
Oh my.
How can you do that without medication? Like at least
I
some
would
alcohol.
have no problem. Like Nick came back from his assessment and he was telling me like what it was and all these functional memory tests. I'm like, and he was like devastated and exhausted. I'm like, that sounds like so much fun.
Yes, Chris? This is so weird. I mean, talking about ADHD, he's working on this task, and then every couple minutes he comes over just to wave and then walks away again. I know that now that I called him out, he's going to focus on the task.
So I got to ask people, since it is that time of year, how many projects are you currently like juggling? Because I was trying like, okay, how many whips am I going to finish the year with? And I think right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knitting projects.
What are the 5?
4 that I'm actively knitting on, like on a regular basis.
What's the one you're not? Okay, let's just ask. What's the one you're not regularly
The one I'm
knitting
not regularly knitting on right now is my Triceratops colorwork cowl.
Okay.
Because my brain can't handle colorwork right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But I've got a weights cardigan that I'm on the sleeves. I finished the body. I've got a cardigan that I'm working on for Chris. I've got a Santa hat. And I've got a pair of like sport weight socks. And I really want to cast on a muscle blower hat for you, and Gab's colorwork vest. But I've got to finish something before I can cast something on.
So Laura says she's working on 6 knitting projects.
See?
Now, how about crochet and spinning projects?
I don't have any crochet projects. I finished a crocheted washcloth the other day.
And you found a stash.
And then I found a stash.
Yeah.
Teachers usually get crocheted washcloths and handmade soap.
Cornwall Crafter, by the way, said, I had a weird hyperfocus win. My house is spotless. Yep, that's the duality of the ADHD brain, right? Cranky Crafts asks, actively juggling or including
Actively juggling.
UFOs?
We won't talk about UFOs.
Knitted Beans says 6. Cornwall Crafter says 2 boxies, 2 socks, a lace shawl, and a muscle burrow.
So 6 seems to be a good number.
Right? It's pretty consistent. Cornwall Crafter says 1 crochet project. Laura says, don't crochet like 20 spinning projects.
Gab, how many sewing projects do you currently have going on?
Gab's thinking. Gab's still thinking.
3-ish.
3-ish?
Yeah.
How many are being planned?
Probably another 3.
Yeah.
I guess so. So 6. I don't know what we count as my active knitting projects. I've got the slippers. I've got the cowl for Gab. And then I've got a whole bunch of UFOs.
You ever gonna finish those Jacob mitts?
I was just thinking about that, and I think no. No. I think I'm going to wait until Adrian leaves the house. Because I started them when Adrian... Oh, I guess I started them when Adrian was... when he was young, right?
You started them when Gab was a baby.
Yeah. Okay, so I clearly can't knit them when Adrian's around. So when Adrian leaves...
Is Adrian just a terrible distraction?
Yes.
And has kept you from knitting these mitts for 15 years?
Yep.
There's only 11 things on the to-do list.
Only 11 things on the to-do list.
Yeah. Working on 3 of them.
Let's see. What do we got here? Amy says, I stalled on my hat in progress. Takes just a little bit more attention than I have most of the time. Otherwise, I'm juggling 2 work projects for other people, not crafty. And JM Knitter says, I've got 2 pair of cat socks, 2 color, and a sweater for 3-year-old grandson, flax for 1224. I'm spinning around 2 ounces per day for Advent spins. My fingers are about to fall off.
Yeah, that is a lot of
ask,
spinning.
What are cat socks? Are these socks with a cat pattern or socks for cats? And while we wait for that answer, I can read some other ones. Cornwall Crafter says, for her project, several of those are in long-time hibernation. Cranky Craft says, I've only got the 1 weaving project in progress, but it's a doozy. Knitted Bean says, 4 sewing, 3 spinning. Diane says, I have 1 knitting, 2 spinning projects to ply, and at least 8 skeins that need wet finishing. Cornwall Crafter says, I'm predominantly a spinner now. Cranky Craft says, I've got about 5 single socks in the works. And Rhonda says, just 1 knitted color work cardigan for me. And free socks for knitting in Zoom meetings. My friends and family are old, and we don't do gifts anymore.
And I think I have 4 spinning projects.
And Jane Knitter clarified cat pattern. They're adorable. A total of 4 pair for grandkids.
Yes, Gab?
I don't have any knitting projects.
You finished your knitting project today.
I started it today, too.
Gab started and finished a knitting project in a day.
How about
We
that
can all
scarf?
What? It's gone. I need to find it. I have a plan.
So Gab's first knitting thing was supposed to be a purple scarf for me that they started when they were 5. Gab is now 17. They have finished many other knitting projects, but my scarf has abandoned me. Nobody knows where it is anymore.
Yeah.
I'm certain it's somewhere in Gab's room.
I'll find it.
In the black hole.
In a project bag.
Maybe.
I started my project during first period and ended it in seventh period.
Nice. I don't know if you guys can hear Gab from the mics or not.
It's almost it's a really good match to your very first completed knit project. It was a circular stocking nut cowl with like bulky yarn.
Hey, Chris, what is up?
Come
you
in.
You want to have your cameo finally? Hi. Takes a little bit for this video to show up. This is Christopher with his apron while he's working on his painting. You want to say anything?
I actually just finished.
Oh, you finished your
Oh, you're
painting. Great. Perfect timing. Perfect timing for bedtime. You can just say bye? No,
No.
he's not going to say bye. He's just going to disappear. Well, I guess now we just need Adrian to show up.
He'll never show.
No.
You wish.
He's lounging on the couch upstairs, probably.
He's so tall he'd be out of frame.
He would. Adrian is now officially taller than Nick.
Although it depends on the day we measure.
Yeah, you guys, somebody's slouching on a day or something. I don't know what's going on.
There's one day where like he went to go measure and he did slip in standing on his tiptoes and I didn't notice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, you shot up like a centimeter. So Cornwall Crafter asks, has anyone made the Celtibus hood? And
I've made the Hoodala, which is like the non-feather and fan version of the Caltibus.
Jam Knitter says, hello, Chris, your apron rocks. Cranky Craft says, hi, Chris. And Cornwall Crafter asks, how tall is Nick?
5'9.5".
Yeah. I remember... what?
At some point in your life, you were taller.
No, I was going to say, I need to make sure I get the units right. I'm guessing it's inches. But multiple times when they measured me, the nurses would just call out 69.
Mm.
So I think I'm 69 inches tall.
You are 69 inches tall. That would be 5'9".
There you go. So that's an easy way to remember.
I used to be taller. I've shrunk about an inch.
Well, like, you come by it honestly. At
Yeah.
least you didn't fall off a roof like our friend.
Yeah.
We had a friend who, during college, he did some roofing work as a side job, and he fell off a roof and, had to have, like, 1 or 2 vertebrae removed?
Not
Because they
removed, but the discs. Like, he had fusion, which shrinks you.
No, I'm pretty sure, like, he shattered some of his vertebrae and they had to remove them.
No, they
Okay.
didn't remove him, but I think he had a fusion.
Okay. Anyway, he shrank because he fell off a roof.
Yeah.
Cornwall Crafter says, short arse here, all 5'3" of me. How tall is Gab?
5'1.5".
There you go.
No, I'm 5'1
What?
3/4.
Oh, okay. Jill missed out on a 1/4 inch there.
Yeah.
So, well, there's the aspect that that shorter people live longer. So.
Yes, that's what I keep telling them.
So it is a good thing.
They're more energy efficient.
There you go.
The child was hiding.
The child is hiding.
He was.
Oh, he was hiding. Okay.
I sent him to sleep.
That's a good idea. All right. So, any news in the fiber world?
No. Because I spent today dropping my car off at the dealer and then taking you to the doctor.
Well, you got
And having
you
a
got
nice
news
lunch.
shipment in.
Yes, I did get stuff in.
Excuse me.
So World of Wool order did show up. So, and I did update some of the things that came in. So, if you've been looking for Buoy Otter, it's in. I've also got some bleached and unbleached flax back in. And then some brown BFL, oatmeal BFL. And then I upped some other wools, and I also, it's not up yet, but I got some Kent Romney to try out because I'm looking for wools for my reliable wools class, and I think Kent Romney will fit the bill. I have a hypothesis. So my idea of a reliable wool is something that doesn't really change in wet finishing. Either your yarn doesn't really change after you apply and you wash it, or like when you knit a swatch, it's not going to change when you block it out. And so this started from a article I did for Ply. Trying to remember what issue it was, but I think it was the drape issue. But I spun and knit swatches for a whole bunch of different fibers, and then like hung them with weights, and also laid them flat to dry and saw if they recovered after being hung wet with weights. And learned some interesting stuff.
That was a while ago. Yeah.
That was a while ago. But I learned like Shetland and Wensleydale don't really change much in finishing. So
you also got a lot of detail in terms of what actually changes with alpaca.
What actually
when it
changes
stretches.
So what's fascinating is all the fibers that we think of as like stretching, it's not really stretching. Like the yarn is not getting longer. It is actually the shape of the knit stitch is changing. And the ratio between the height and the width changes. And it's related to whether or not the surface of the yarn, how smooth that is, and whether or not there's grip or elasticity in the fiber. So like superwash will like stretch out of shape when hung like wet with a weight. Now it'll rebound if it's really crimpy wool, and depending on how robust that crimp is. But like it really is about the ratio of the height to the width of the knit stitch is what changes in wet finishing.
Yeah. We need to figure out where that article was because it had some really good good insights.
Which is really important to know because like if your garment is going to grow in a certain way when you wet block it and you're like knitting to measurements while you're knitting it, well, those aren't your actual measurements.
Right.
You've got to know how it's going to change in the wet finishing. So, and like I had figured that out with like cotton. Cotton shrinks in a kind of reliable way where it gets shorter and wider. So I always knit my cotton like shirt, like tops, I think almost 20% longer than what I need them to be.
And I wish I would have known that when I knit myself a
Cotton
shirt. It's a bit of a crop top now.
Yeah, it shows off your belly button.
No, only when I raise my arms.
Yes.
And by the way, Laura asked what's in the box, but you already answered that. So
Yeah.
Anything else special in the box before we go on?
Oh, and Polar TK. And more buoy bone for dyeing.
And Cornwall Crafter says, God grew things until they were perfect. Some of us took less time than others. There you go, Gab.
What?
And also is asking, how badly are the tariffs affecting you? Which you answered a bit
So this
on
shipment,
day one, but
they
on.
were calculated properly, which means that UK tariffs are about 22%, I think. I've got to double check. I haven't done my spreadsheet yet. But they were a reasonable amount this time and not,
60%.
10 times what I used to pay.
Yeah.
They're more like double what I used to pay. which is reasonable. But like the UK has some of the lowest import tariffs right now. So, but I did on purpose. There was no silk in that order. There was no luxury fibers like yak or camel or cashmere in that order. I was choosing things that I know definitely manufactured in the UK or the materials are sourced from the UK. So it shouldn't have been an order that would have raised any red flags. So it's nice to know that I can get some stuff reliably in. So I can still carry British wools.
Speaking of British things,
Yeah.
this artificial IPA is really good. So, just making a weird tangent
to talk about your non-alcoholic beer.
So, I had quite often made fun of the concepts of non-alcoholic beers because I'm like, there's no way that can taste any good. But with this, cancer treatment, have laid off the alcohol now for, since February.
Mm-hmm.
And I had heard good things about this Atlantic Brewing and that
Athletic
Brewing. Yeah, Athletic Brewing. And that non-alcoholic beers had actually started to taste good. And quite frankly, it's a imitation IPA. I maybe it's just been it's been too long since I've had an actual IPA, but I can't tell the difference. It's fantastic. So anyway, that's what I'm drinking.
And I still dislike even non-alcoholic trying to be an IPA.
Well, you just
I'm
don't
not a
like
big
IPAs,
IPA fan, so.
So your reaction to it is exactly the same, which would mean that it's a good replica, right?
It's a little different, but I can see why you like it.
Yeah. All right. What else? I'm looking at your bobbin, and it is absolutely astounding with the bright orange of today and the gray
of yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, that's a
I meant for a good break.
beautiful color combo.
I was planning the shawl in my head when I laid out the colors.
And I've got a very good pink to purple combo
Yeah,
going
you
on
do.
here.
Well, we got one more night and then we switch bobbins?
That's right.
Oh, you switch bobbins. I'll probably switch bobbins just because of capacity.
Well, if you're doing 2-ply, yeah, you would switch.
I always do chain ply, so.
And I guess if you're doing 3-ply, you should have already switched to bobbin today,
Yes.
right? I wonder, is anybody planning on doing 3-ply?
A 3-ply barber pole? That'd
Yeah.
be madness.
Well, now I have to try to do that next year. It's already too late for me.
You could just wind off the storage bobbins.
I could.
It's not too late for you.
Extra madness. Lipstick Lawyer says, I'm doing one big chain ply of madness.
Yep. Solidarity.
There was somebody on the HipStrings Discord
Yeah.
that was talking about doing plying while spinning.
Yes, ply on the fly.
Yeah, ply on the fly. There we go.
Usually done on a suspended spindle.
Which they said during the while we were chatting that they didn't think it was possible to do with a wheel. But I'll have to ask you: is there a technique for doing that with a wheel?
It would be really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would work on a wheel.
Well, I mean, you would do the same plying bracelet with the single, but then when you start
But the
back
whole,
up
like,
again,
It's
it would be spinning the wrong way. So
yeah.
I don't think it would work.
I've never attempted it, so I don't know enough about the physics.
Becky Knit says, I'm making mini skeins. Amy says, I split each day by weight, then switch bobbins in the middle of each day's spin. Yay for 2-ply weavers. Or yay 2-ply 4 weavers. All sorts of fantastic ways to
Yeah.
do it up. Which, by the way, I should underline the fact that I mentioned we have a Discord. It is moderately active.
Yeah. There
Um,
is a link in the show listing, the live stream listing, and that is not a link that expires. So,
So if you want to join and continue the chat, by all means, please do. Only you can make the Discord more active.
yeah. I don't like talking to myself that much.
Yeah, I always feel a little bit weird because, like, I respond to everything, but then I feel like, well, did I just kill the conversation? 'Cause nobody else is saying anything. The Knitted Bean says, I might just do a 3-ply for the chaos. And Cornwall Crafter says, good night, friends. Good night. You've
Good
stayed
night.
up way long enough.
Get some good rest.
We started watching Spirited last night. I did not realize how long that special was. Christmas specials usually are not
Like a 2-hour.
full-length movies. And this one was excessively long, so
Yeah, we only got about halfway through it, right?
we have to, yeah. Oh, but Fallout Season 2 came out a day early today.
Yeah.
So that's something else we can watch if we've got time after we finish up Spirited.
Nick was being all industrious and we started wrapping presents before like the 22nd.
Yep.
Or the 23rd. Usually we don't start wrapping until after Base12 ends.
I did split up my fiber into 3 parts,
Okay.
so I'm not just hitting the halfway point. Just in case you're a little bit worried about
I
it.
was seeing how much was left. I'm a little like my supply is a little thicker. Why is my wheel vibrating so much? I probably need to balance my flyers or my flyer hooks, which is something I always tell people they need to do. And people are like, "Oh, it doesn't matter." Yes, it does.
Laura says, I really enjoyed Red 1 last year, and the hats are hand knit. Yes.
Yes.
And
the person who designed the hat for the movie put their pattern up on Ravelry for free.
yeah. So Jill knit me one of the hats.
And it's a good pattern. She has the pattern for the hat as knit for the movie. And then she has like a whole bunch of different other sizes, like kid to adult size.
What's the difference between the as knit for the movie?
The decreases for the crowner are different.
Okay.
There's a different number of sections, I think.
Which one did you do?
Yours is the one from the movie.
Okay.
The one I'm now knitting for Chris is not the movie one because you have a big head. So
I do have a big head.
So I was making
Literally and
a smaller one for those of us with slightly more petite heads. Yes, Gab. Just smiling at me.
Laura adds, Lee Meredith is awesome, and that's the Fair Isle version. I don't know what she's making reference to.
I don't
there,
know.
Gab is just standing off screen here.
Drinking a seltzer and smiling.
Vibrating mildly. Usually that means they're excited about something, but...
Or they're pleased with themselves.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Yeah. They got mistaken for a parent today. They were helping us out and dropping Chris off and picking him up from a school activity in the evening. And they got mistaken for a parent. It's what happens when you dye your hair gray?
It's kind of blue.
At least they didn't get mistaken for a grandparent. Not enough wrinkles.
New goal, Gab. I didn't tell you how long you needed to achieve the goal. You could wait like another 40 years.
Laura, by the way, is clarifying there were 2 hats in the movie. One is the one you were talking about.
Ah.
And Lee Meredith did the other one, which is Fair Isle and super cool.
Oh, I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah, we'll have to rewatch the movie too.
Yeah.
We didn't do our watching of it for this year, so.
I don't like Father's shirt.
You don't like it?
No, it has that weird
Optical illusion thing.
optical illusion where you think there's dots, but there's not.
Gab is complaining about my shirt.
I like it.
I think if I straighten it out a little bit,
Well, it's not like a plain gingham shirt. It looks
Evil
from
gingham.
afar like it's solid black and white, but it's not.
Evil gingham.
I like Gab's description. I like calling it evil gingham. I'm gonna go with that.
Because from a distance, yes, it looks like it is only black and white, but it is not. Well, I mean, it is actually just black and white, but sometimes it's like shadow weave.
What's shadow weave?
You have black and white usually, and you mess with the warp and weft and stuff, and so you get strange patterns, but it's actually plain weave, and it's really cool. I really like shadow weave. I've never actually done it, but I have a book. I've seen examples.
Yeah, I'm not completely following your description, so maybe Amy can help out here. But
Yeah. Weave structures are still magic to me.
did Gab
That's not shadow weave.
It's black and white.
Yes,
looks
that's
gray.
yeah, black weft, white warp.
Gab came by with a sample of fabric to.
The joy of fabrics that use different thread in the warp and weft, different color in warp and weft.
Amy says it's an optical illusion, but not so much easier to explain in person.
Yes.
I mean, is it like now I'm forgetting the word for it. I don't know. Never mind. Like that stuff.
Not your shirt, but what Gab.
Is the shadow weave like that stuff?
No, shadow weave is not like that.
By the way, give that to me so I can show it on camera so people know what we're talking about. Something which is this pearlescent type of
Iridescent is the term.
iridescent is the word I'm looking for. Yes. Don't spin this.
So it's a red metallic warp and a blue weft. So depending on the angle, you can either see the blue or the red, or it comes across as purple.
Well, and it's super shiny because your eyes are at slightly different angles.
Yes.
So you literally see 2 different colors at the same time, which
your brain
your
doesn't.
brain interprets differently.
It makes your brain go brrr. And that's what we
Yeah,
call
and Amy's
iridescence.
saying maybe a tiny bit like brioche.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, all of that are putting together all the things that I was sort of expecting from that, so that makes sense.
I think I might beat you.
I think you will.
What's your idea, Gab?
You should talk about your tailcoat.
My tailcoat.
You have it upstairs. You should bring it down
The
one night.
vest.
Are you invested in this line of conversation?
I'm gonna leave.
Talk about your vest.
A topic for another night. We're going to talk about Gab's wool tuxedo we found in a thrift shop, an antique store on the way back from SSK this summer that we paid $30 for.
Yeah.
that happens to fit them perfectly that we think is 1920s. What's the latest dating? 1910s.
But the further back I go, the more it, like...
We're trying to
makes
date
sense.
this thing. It is wool. It does not have any moth damage. It is amazing that this exists. Gab is planning on doing a senior research project on it next year, with trying to dive into dating it and then doing some reproduction work to make the other parts of the tuxedo, the shirt and like
Vest.
and no, that
Oh,
has
it
a
comes with
vest.
Comes with a vest.
Yeah, but it needs a little bit of conservation work. There's some cleaning that needs to happen, but they are planning on making a research paper out of this and a year-long research project out of this tuxedo. Because Gab's passion is historical menswear. So
Gab has a wonderful hypothesis about how World War II ruined men's fashion.
somebody wrote a book about World War II rationing, how it affected women's fashion. Gab's like, who cares about women's fashion?
Women's fashion is boring, and I don't care. I think almost everybody else would disagree with me.
By the way, Amy says, my friend Susan Kessler has... Is that right? Kessler, yes.
Yes, that's the book I was talking about. I have that book somewhere.
I
Did you lose?
lost a thing.
Do you need a threader?
Yes.
Here you go.
Thank you.
We need to snow wash.
Yes, we do.
We need to snow clean this. The vest is a little grimy.
Yeah.
Anyways, my friend Susan Kessler Simpson has a book, Shadow Weave Simply.
Yes.
You can probably find preview pics in various places.
It is not on the shelf. It is somewhere else in the basement.
I was going to say, or Jill might just pull it out of the ether,
Yeah. Everything is within an arm's reach.
right? Because you really need images for this to make
Yes.
sense.
It is hard to describe.
And
Laura's saying they should talk to Gwen. Yeah.
talk to Gwen about conservation. Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
Gwen. So Gab came to SSK, and we went to Velvet Taco, and Gwen talked to Gab about conservation for like an hour and a half.
I'm sorry, I'm going to be here for a while.
That's
You got
fine.
to come up with some...
I mean, a couple days ago, it was the same thing, but it was me being problematic.
walking in.
Focus. But that purple goes really well with the maraschino.
That's not maraschino. Was it maraschino?
Yes, it was maraschino.
Oh, that was maraschino. Yeah.
I'm good.
Yes, you are.
This thing has so many pockets.
That's the reason why Gab likes men's fashion, because of all the pockets.
There's an inside chest pocket on the vest.
See, my headcanon
Look at
about
my
that
phone in it.
tuxedo is that it belonged to a performing magician.
Yeah.
Why is that, Jill?
I don't know. It has a lot of hidden pockets.
Okay.
It's for somebody who's relatively short.
Why does that equal magician?
I don't know.
Why not jockey?
Why would a jockey have a tuxedo?
Because they're really good at their job. And they have to go to parties too. I don't know. We're just making up headcanon now. May as well be a jockey.
Cranky Crafts is asking if there's any New Year's crafting resolutions. I'm going to continue one thing that I actually followed through with this year, which I did a net reduction of 50 balls of yarn this year. It's actually up to 60. So size of ball doesn't matter. And buying yarn or spinning yarn counts against. Because I'm trying to reduce the size of my yarn stash.
But also other people using yarn from your yarn stash counts.
Yes. So, Gab, did you use that entire cake?
Yes. No.
So
There's still some left.
how much?
A bit.
A little bit?
It's the outside of the big ball.
Okay.
I don't think it's big enough to do anything with.
Okay. Maybe I'll count it. But yes, other people in the household using up yarn also counts for this. So
it helps you be generous with your stash.
yes, and I can give away stuff too. I gave away stuff this year to reduce my. But strangely, it does not seem like the stash is taking up any less space.
Well, that's because you keep on finding the things you've hidden away in other holes.
Yeah. This has been like a project for the last, I don't know, decade, trying to get the stash all in one place.
Yeah, but your reduction of 50 balls a year was really good. You made a lot more progress this year than you have on previous years, I think.
Yes. And it still allowed me to, I did make acquisitions.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like a cold sheep. So that's, I'm going to keep that up because I kind of, I like knowing what's all in my stash. I don't like there being surprises. And for far too long, I go in there and there's surprises. I'm like, I don't remember that.
Hey, at least the surprise is yarn and not like a dead mouse.
Yes. That is a good thing.
Yeah. By the way, you also missed the question from Laura asking, do people have plans for their finished yarn?
I don't know. Probably another shawl. I don't know. I would really like to turn this into a colorwork yoke. And maybe be smart enough to like use all 6 ounces. Because usually 4 ounces will get me a colorwork yoke. So this might need to go a little into the body and sleeves. And that like extra math of splitting that up has kept me from doing it. But it's not like I can't get more of something if I really want it.
You can make it happen.
I can make this happen.
You know people.
Yeah. So maybe I just need to be adventurous and take the leap.
Laura says, no SSK this year should help refuse my stash.
Reduce.
I think it should be reduce my stash. Although book stash has gained size.
My book stash has been growing. I need to de-stash some books.
I've been very proud of the books that I've read.
You have. You've
I've
been
read
reading
a
this
lot
year.
of books this year, which a lot more than I usually do. You know, it has probably something to do with the medication.
Yeah.
But I have to say, 2 of the books that really stood out that I read, one was called That'll Never Work. And it's the story of the founding of Netflix. And it really gives me appreciation for having lived through being a customer in early days of Netflix. It's really fascinating to
What was going on
see
behind
what was
the
going on behind the scenes. It's a really interesting read there. It also gives a bunch of interesting insight to how things like Amazon was starting up at around the same time. And then the other book that I read was called Contagious, which is about how ideas become viral and what you can do to help a concept or a product
like catchy colorway names
become viral. So if you find yourself thinking about HipStrings more, there may be some lessons we've learned from that. By the way, Jaminator says, I'm spinning 2 sets of Base 12, so depending on yardage, not sure. I may weave it. Cranky Craft says, Edinburgh trip is going to ruin my yarn buy plans. Gonna plan a couple of projects to buy for and do my best to stick to it.
Some double drafting going on.
Yeah.
Gab was reminding me that, what was it, a couple summers ago, their way of like earning some money around the house was they put all of our books into a app so that we have a database of our family library.
I haven't done the basement yet. It's scary.
You haven't you haven't done all the knitting. You haven't done all the Fiber Arts books.
They scare me.
And you haven't done like my new stuff.
Are you buying books and not letting me scan them in?
Yes, yep. I will be like, here, Gab, here's my stack. I need you to update.
I scan in all the books I get.
Really?
Yeah. You have 221 books in your room.
Are there more books in your room?
No.
I feel like we need a better bookshelf system.
You have the most books.
Oh, and there's many more books down here.
Yeah, the boys have 212. I only have 112.
Tisk, Gab. Obviously, we need to buy you more books.
Well, I've read almost all the books in my room.
So we need to buy you more books. All right, I'm almost done here, guys.
Yep, in the final stretch.
Only a little bit of stalling necessary.
Yeah, I'm currently reading Worn, which is, it's interesting. It's talking about textiles. A lot of my reading has been historical textile stuff for the last couple of years. And it's talking about like both traditional textiles, how they were made, and also modern manufacturing. So there's a lot of talk about capitalism and environmentalism and, you know, labor, sustainability.
I think it's been fascinating, some of the insights you've had into how labor and sustainability and all that stuff has impacted a lot of the stuff that we take for granted.
I mean, textiles really is, you know, textile history is civilization. Like, it's so intertwined in everything we do.
Well, so is salt.
I think textiles are more so.
Well, I'm making a
I just got a book that's about how carpets, what they have to say about empire. So, and capitalism.
Interesting.
Yes.
So, you know that SCUBA, I'm just completely going straight into the dad joke, sorry. You know, SCUBA is an acronym, right?
Yes.
It's for self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
Yes.
But did you know TUBA is also an acronym?
Oh?
Yeah, it's for terrible underwater breathing apparatus.
We'll have to make sure we tell Chris that, since he's playing tuba these days.
That'll be a good joke for him.
So.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for spinning along. We will see you tomorrow. And
for day 6.
For day 6 to finish up the halfway point.
And I will just say, yes, How to Be a Tutor was fascinating. And it's a lot about textiles.
Yeah. Have a great night, everybody. See you
Good
tomorrow.
night.